Welcome time travelers, and welcome new time travelers. As always, if you're new to this channel and enjoy learning about history one event at a time, then don't forget to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into it. Today we're going to start out in 1556 when Thomas Cranmer, the first Protestant Archbishop of Canterbury, was burned at the stake for violating heresy laws revised under the Roman Catholic Queen Mary I, known as Bloody Mary. On this day in 1685, when German composer Johann Sebastian Bach, who was generally considered the greatest composer of all time, was born. In 1768, French mathematician Joseph Fortner, who exerted strong influences on mathematical physics through the analytical theory of heat, published in 1822, was born in Auxerre, France, I think. 1806 is when Mexican national hero Benito Juanero Juanzar was born in San Pablo Gatateo, Oaxaca. I'm not sure where that is. If anyone has any idea exactly where that is in Mexico, let me know. Our next stop will be in 1880 when German painter Hans Hofmann, an influential art teacher and pioneer in the use of impressionist techniques, whose work paved the way for American painters to develop abstract expressionism, was born. On this day in 1918, when the Second Battle of Somme began during World War I. We are going to make a stop in 1825 when the Butler Act, which outlawed teaching of evolution in Tennessee schools, was signed into law. The legislation was the center of Scopes' trial, and it was not replaced until 1967. In 1942, President Franklin D. Roosevelt ordered the Office of Defense Transportation to seize Toledo, Pura, and Western Railroad, after the Rhodes president rejected an appeal to exhibit wage disputes. In 1960, when about 70 Black African demonstrators were killed by police in Sharpsville, Gauteng Province, during a protest against South Africa's past laws. The U.S. federal prison on San Francisco's Bay's Alcatraz Island, which had held some of the most dangerous civilian prisoners, including Al Capone and Robert Stroud, the Birdman of Alcatraz, was closed on this day in 1963. That actually is one of the places that I want to visit, though I don't think the public can legally go to that. I'm gonna have to do a little research on that. 2 years later, in 1965, American civil rights activists, led by Martin Luther King Jr., began a protest march from Salem to Montgomery, Alabama. We're going to make a stop in 1980 for two events. The first event is in one of the most famous cliffhangers in American television. Series 3 of Dallas ended with the shooting of J.R. Ewing, played by Larry Heng. The phrase, "Who shot J.R.?" entered the lexicon of American popular culture. The second is when U.S. President Jimmy Carter announced that the U.S. was boycotting the Summer Olympics in Moscow to protest the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. 10 years later, in 1990, after 106 years of German and South African rule, Namibia became independent. 2006 is when Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey sent the first public tweet, which read, "Just setting up my Twitter." 2009 is when Chinese media reports that 95 monks had been arrested for an attack by monks on a police station in Tibet. And finally, 2017 is when Irish politician Martin McGuinness, who, as a member of Sinn Féin, the political wing of the Irish Republic Army, or IRA, played an influential role in negotiating the Good Friday Agreement, or the Belfast Agreement, of 1998, passed away at the age of 66. And with this, we return to 2024 and our current history. Let's see what this year has in store for us. Until next time.